Okay, welcome to solving systems of equation by elimination using multiplication first, part 2. What we want to take a look now is what if we cannot look at one equation and come up with the opposite on a particular variable? What if we have to do something to both equations? So we noticed in the very first one that we did, we actually all we had to do was manipulate the second equation, and we were able to get the opposite for the variable x, the opposite 3, and then we could eliminate. But here, looking at this equation, we cannot just do that from face value. If we look at the variable y, we using the concept of least common denominator, we can see that 20 is the least common denominator between 5 and 4. So we could multiply the first equation by 4 and get 20y, and the second equation by 5 and get 20y. But we have to make sure anything you do to one, you have to do to this whole equation, and then we're going to increase these values over here. So we're trying to look at an easy way to do math. Again, I've told you guys before, is we're not trying to get big numbers. We got calculators here. We got our TI-84s. We're not trying to get big numbers. The only thing we're trying to do is get numbers that we can work with within the realm of our own thinking. So let's take a look at manipulating the variable x. So this is pretty simple, because here we see we have a least common denominator that is 6 between 2 and 3. And the good part about it is we have a negative 3 here. So what we can do is we can go ahead and take our equation, the very first equation, and multiply that equation by 3. Okay, and that's going to give us 6x plus 15y is equal to 3 times 6 is 18, 3 times 2 is 6, and 1 is 7. And here we'll multiply this equation by 2, and that's going to give us a negative 6x minus 8y is equal to a negative 50. Okay, so now we go ahead and rewrite these over here. So that'll be our step 1. So we'll go ahead and rewrite these over here for step 2, so we can literally eliminate, because that's what we're all about. So I'm going to bring them down, and I'm going to have 6x plus 15y is equal to 78. Okay, and we have negative 6x minus 8y is equal to a negative 50. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our elimination. So this is going to be 0, 0, and then we have 8. Okay, 8 from 15 will give us 7. Okay, and since 15 absolute value is greater than, it'll just be positive 7y is equal to 78 minus 50 is 28. Okay, so here they'll make 7y is equal to 28, divide both sides by 7, and y is going to equal to 4. Okay, moving right along to step 3. And step 3 tells us to plug in our values in one of the equations, one of the original equations. So let's look at it real plain, and I think I want to use the second equation. So here it's going to be a negative 3 x minus 4y is equal to a negative 25. That'll give me a negative 3x minus 4 times 4 is equal to a negative 25. Negative 3x minus 16 is equal to a negative 25. And when I add 16 to both sides, so let's go right ahead and do that. That's going to be a negative 3x minus 16 plus 16 is equal to a negative 25 plus 16. Okay, we added because we're subtracting 16. Okay, so that's going to, our 16s are going to cancel out over here. That's going to give me a negative 3x is equal to, here, 16 from 9 from 25 is going to give me 9, but because the 25 absolute value is negative and greater than the plus 16, it'll give me a negative 9. And I'm going to divide by negative 3. And here x is going to equal to a positive 3. Okay, so step 4, and if you don't mind, I'm going to write step 4 over here. Step 4 says to write my ordered pair, and they will be 3, 4, and now I need to check. Okay, and checking again, guys, I'm going back up to my original equations. So I'll have 2 times, and my x value is 4. 2 times, did I write that wrong? No. 2 times 3 plus 5 times 4 make sure we're going to equal to 26. So here I have 6 plus 20 is equal to 26, and 26 indeed equals 26. Okay, so let's take a look at the second one. I have a negative 3 times my x value, which is 3, minus 4 times my y value, which is 4, and that's going to equal to a negative 25, hopefully. A question mark there. So we have 3 times 3 is 9, but a positive times a negative gives me a negative 9 minus 16 is equal to a negative 25. Well, let's go back and think about how do we really add when we're subtracting. So this should be, let's go ahead and change it to a negative 9 plus a negative 16 should equal to a negative 25, and indeed 9 plus 16 is 25. We keep our negative, and a negative 25 is equal to a negative 25. Okay, so what we just did, oh, switching graph. Oh, good. I know my plug must have came on pause. But anyway, what we just did is we just literally took a look at how we would solve when we have to manipulate both equations first by multiplication. You may have to come back to this a couple times before you really get it down pat, but it's not a big deal. Just come back to it, feel comfortable with it, and then work the problems in the textbook. And that will take care of all except for our real life application with a system of equation by elimination.